This is Dumbline, the podcast of dumb crimes and even dumber criminals. Welcome to Dumbline, the miserable middle-aged male cashier at the grocery store's favorite true crime podcast. My name is Greg. I'm joined by my golfing buddy Jason.
Hello, everybody.
And the goddess of Gemelli, Maria.
Hey, dummies.
Hey, there's something seriously wrong with us as a species. I was in my house, and I heard this, and my electricity went out. My dogs ran, and then you heard, the electricity came back on. So I was like, let me go outside and see what's going on. I couldn't see anything, but a block away, I saw a crowd gathering.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I head that way. Why not?
Always.
There's a crowd.
You always walk towards the crowds.
Yeah. Fire truck shows up.
Oh, yeah, especially if there's fire trucks. I'm running that direction.
Like one or two little transformers of the electrical wires on the top. Yeah, popped. And we're all just wow, wires could drop, sparks could fly. We're all just hanging out like idiots, waiting for something to happen.
Half of us are standing in a puddle.
Yeah. Fire department's throwing caution tape, pushing people back, and we're all just standing up, staring.
I'm looking.
Like the telephone pole or the utility pole was all scorched out. It was all black.
Was there any active flame?
Nah, it must have just been two pops.
How many people were out there?
34.
That's
40.
the usual crowd for our neighborhood.
Yeah, I would say
for
that.
disaster
It's
in our
2
neighborhood.
o'clock on a Monday.
I would go. Yeah, I would have gone out there.
Yeah.
Remember when that guy hit the cement steps?
Oh,
he just blasted through. The whole neighborhood came out for that.
Yeah.
That sounded like a fucking bomb.
Yeah. Yes, it did.
Forgot about that.
His horn was going off.
It was crazy.
Yeah, give us a disaster. Let's go watch.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah,
But at least at that one, you weren't in harm's way. It was like that car wasn't going to hit anybody else.
That's true. It could have caught on fire.
Yeah,
I don't know. But no. But
But I was like, man, one of these wires could just drop, just go nuts. You see it on the movie, it looks like a crazed rattlesnake, like bam, 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 jumping all over, shooting sparks.
It's like what was that movie? Final Destination.
Yeah,
I don't know. I never saw that.
The truck with the logs on the utility poles.
Yeah,
there was.
The first couple of those, there were some. It was just very inventive ways to kill people.
Yeah. That was a fun one.
What?
Final Destination.
Yeah, the first couple, but then I think there's 12 now.
Yeah, that's somewhere around 3 things kind of taper off usually.
Yeah. Yeah, Friday the 13th stopped at 3. If Rocky stopped at 3, we all be good.
Rocky 4
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Shut up.
Oh my God, Drago. Oh my
Siberia.
God. Oh, it's the best. He's running up that fucking hill.
With James Brown, is that the music?
Yeah,
James
that's the one with James Brown.
Oh, yeah, he's running up the hill. He's shoulder pressing the giant log.
Yeah, they should have stopped at Clover Lane. Hey, Maria, do you have a wacky headline for us?
I do.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it.
This week's headline is from ABC 7 News, Leonardtown, Maryland, December 26th, 2024. Man throws tangerines and dumps whiskey during 2 church services in St. Mary's County. So during Mass, a man walked up to the altar and dropped an onion on the altar during Mass.
For what?
No one knows. Then when churchgoers followed him to the parking lot, he threw tangerines at them before driving away.
They're not cheap these days either.
No.
They're not. That's an investment.
Yeah.
Those little, if they were one of those little
cuties.
oranges,
Yeah.
the cuties or the halos.
Yeah.
Those things are fucking
And it's
expensive.
hard
They
to
are.
find tangerines. I feel like they call them clementines and other things these days.
Well, no, I think isn't a tangerine different than isn't it like
I think
a
it's
tangerine
slightly different.
'Cause I grew up loving
peach,
tangerine.
half peach, half orange.
No. It's got a
tangerine?
thin, shiny skin, and it's between a cutie and an orange. The size of a tangerine is a little bigger.
I think the flesh though is maybe I'm thinking I don't know apricot.
So
sorry.
did the whole congregation go running out?
So some people followed him into the parking lot. I'm sure it wasn't everybody.
He's not bringing an onion to our church.
He's not bringing an onion in here.
Get
What
outta
does he
here.
mean by this onion?
Get out of here. The vegetables in the church.
And then he went to another church where he poured whiskey into the holy water to, quote, blind Satan.
Well, I mean,
He was charged with second-degree assault and disturbing the peace.
Does Satan go to churches often?
I don't.
This sounds like flawed logic.
Second degree
I can't see Satan
degree
being a
assault.
He's
Is
not
that
going to
a-
be drinking holy water.
that
I'm
a-
pretty
Walk
sure
into
that's
church,
the opposite.
Satan's going to dip his fingers in
Yeah,
the holy water.
that's like
to
his
bless himself?
kryptonite, right?
It
I
is
mean,
like it-
according
it
to
is.
Exorcist, that's like
I think that's his
Yeah.
kryptonite. He
Yeah.
wouldn't touch that.
No. This guy's all over the place.
Second degree assault, though.
for throwing
is that a
tangerines. I
felony?
mean,
Where was this at?
it was in Maryland.
I was going to say if
No
it was
charges
like-
for the onion dropping on the altar?
No, disturbing the peace. I think the onion was included in disturbing the peace.
That's bananas.
All right, Maria. Take us away with a wacky tale of some stupidity, hopefully.
Okay. This is what happens when I forget to write something about what happens. I totally forgot.
Oh man, that's
Oh,
awesome.
man, we're going in
this is like a mystery episode.
No forward at all.
Sources for this story include the New South Wales State Library, the Standard, Brayton and Hove Museums, and Manchester Evening News, and a full list of sources is available in our show notes.
Ooh, across the pond?
Yes.
The library is a reference.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we're overdue for some time travel.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I'm excited to say we're going to the mid-19th century
All right.
Sweet.
when James Tichborne is the 10th baronet.
what?
Tichborne.
J-
Oh, all right.
Tichborne.
James Tichborne.
Titchbone.
Tichborne.
Titchbone,
eh?
Titchbone, eh?
Oh, you just went straight to Australia, both of you.
Tichborne, eh?
So there are 134 baronets in England, and they rank below barons but above most knights. I didn't even know this title existed.
Baronet's a real thing?
Yeah,
Baronet sounds like effeminate. And you know the barons totally make fun of the baronets.
probably. And the
Oh,
baronets
isn't
totally
it-
make fun of the knights.
Yeah.
Isn't a baronet? It's a dude?
It's a dude.
Yeah.
What?
It's knight,
It ends
baronet, baron.
It ends in ET,
Weak.
not ETTE.
Yeah, you know those barons are like, ah.
You baronet. When's the debutante ball, baronet?
Yeah. When is your coming out party?
Yeah, baronet. Look at the baronets, how cute they are in the rain. The puddles playing.
So James and his wife Henriette are unhappily married and have 2 sons.
Henriette married baronet?
Baronet James.
Okay.
Roger was born in 1829 and Alfred in 1839. The Tichbornes own 2,300 acres of
Tichborne.
land in Alresford, England, which is about 68 miles from London, where the family also has property. And they have an annual income of £20,000, the equivalent of about £2.5 million today.
Oh, nice.
Henriette escapes Alresford often and spends a lot of time in Paris with Roger, who is her son, not her husband. He ends up living there until he's 16 when he returns to England. As a result, Roger has a French accent and speaks fluent French. He falls in love with his first cousin, Catherine.
Wonder if he comes back over. He's like a French dandy boy. When
Or
he
he's
goes
like
back to,
Madonna when she had that fucked up English accent for a while.
He goes back to London and probably used to speaking French more than anything.
Yeah, he is.
He's in love with his first cousin?
Yeah, he's in love with his first cousin when he's in his early 20s.
Yeesh.
So
Is that acceptable back then? or
No, the families disapprove,
Okay.
and Henriette separates them by sending Roger on a 3-year trip to South America and Mexico.
South America and Mexico in the mid
they're
1800s had to be tough.
Yeah,
Had to be some tough traveling.
seriously. In 1854, Roger boards the Bella, a ship that's either bound for New York or Jamaica, depending on which account you read. I can figure out which one it was. Everybody said something different.
Jamaica, New York?
No,
Yeah, it's-
Jamaica, the island, not Jamaica,
Not-
Queens.
not Jamaica,
No.
Queens.
That's a
Okay.
good point. You sure it wasn't either New York, or Jamaica,
New York.
Queens?
No, it definitely wasn't. So the ship is lost at sea, and Roger is declared dead in 1855. James, Roger's father, dies in 1862, and the baronet title is passed to Roger's brother Alfred, who dies in 1866.
Oh shit, where does it go now?
Alfred's son inherits the title when he's born in 1866.
Oh, so he wasn't even, it was vacant? The baronet title was vacant until he was born?
Yeah. Or no, that he was born 4 months before his father died.
Okay. Okay.
So Henriette refuses to believe Roger is dead. In 1865, she places ads in South America and Australia because it's rumored that some of the Bella's crew members and passengers allegedly boarded another ship bound for Melbourne.
How did she find this out?
Word got back to England. I don't know how.
Why wouldn't, if he was on that shit, why wouldn't he reach out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Henriette offers a reward for any information about Roger's whereabouts and describes him as of delicate constitution, rather tall, with very light brown hair and blue eyes.
That's what you want. That's what you want your mommy to put on your missing poster. He's of delicate constitution.
He is a baronet.
Yeah, I know, but like that's your thing, Mom. You put on. Yeah, you put at the top of the list. I'm of delicate constitution.
Yeah,
that was the first thing you listed. Oh, and he's got brown hair and blue eyes.
Great dancer.
Yeah.
So probably unwisely, the ad also mentions that Roger is the heir to the Tichborne estate.
So again, everybody wants everybody's just like, oh, hey, I'm Roger.
Hey, I'm a Tichborne. I'm a Tichborne.
Such a, especially plastered. She's probably like, oh my God, I put these all over England. She makes like 600 copies.
There's all these,
all over the country.
Mexicans and South American people.
Everybody's showing up. I'm James Tichborne. Oh my God. It's like a black woman. I'm James Tichborne. They're like, what? All races, all genders, everybody
lining up.
So in November 1865, Henriette learns that a man in Wagga Wagga, Australia is claiming he's Roger. Wagga Wagga is about halfway between Sydney and Melbourne in New South Wales. He's a butcher who goes by the name Tom Castro.
Tommy Castro
says he's Roger.
Tommy Castro's meat.
Henriette asks Tom to travel to Sydney to meet some of the Tichborne family's former servants who are living there. In Sydney, when the Tichborne's gardener reads that Roger has been found, he meets Tom and doesn't think he resembles Roger at all. When Tom registers the gardener's disbelief, he says that's because he's put on weight. This guy was a lot bigger than the delicate constitution Roger. He was a lot bigger.
And it's crazy because there's really no photographic evidence to use.
No, but
back
how
then.
long a time period are we talking about?
How long a time period was?
Between, how long is he missing to when
4 years?
This guy comes out?
10 years. I mean, he left in 1854. He was declared dead in 1855.
Okay.
She puts out the ad in 1865.
Okay, so
10 years.
Yeah, I mean, she's still going to be able to see, know what her son looks like.
Yeah, 100%. But it's just like you can't get pictures. Like you have to go physically see these people. Like the 100th trip, I would be like, "Fuck!"
Oh,
like as soon as they're like walking up, you're just like, "Oh God damn it, that's not him." Another wasted trip. Another wasted trip to, and it's not
Wagga
cheap
Wagga.
to travel around there.
Back on the boat.
You're all over the place.
So when the gardener asks Tom about the parents of the cousin he was in love with, you know, his aunt and uncle, Tom doesn't know them. He just doesn't know them.
He's been through a lot of trauma.
Okay. Yeah.
He almost died on the Bella.
There's a lot.
The sea was angry that day, my friends.
So Tom's version of meeting the gardener is different. He claims later that the gardener and his wife bumped into him on the street, and the gardener's wife yelled, "That's him."
That's Tommy Castro.
That's our boy.
That's a butcher.
Tommy Castro.
And here comes the dumb. Tom writes a letter to Henriette that's riddled with errors and doesn't reflect Roger's rigorous education and writing style. When he's tested by other connections and friends at the Tichbornes, he doesn't recognize his father's handwriting and doesn't know anything about his own time in boarding school. Before Roger left on his trip, he gave a package to one of the Tichborne servants, but Tom can't describe what was in the package.
Is he like trying to fraud them out of like money and stuff? Like
he's claiming he's Roger.
Oh man, that's wild.
So Tom is shorter and heavier than Roger and has lighter hair. He also can't speak French. And Roger has a tattoo of a cross, a harp, and an anchor with his initials, but it has somehow disappeared.
I mean, that can happen.
Give it to the guy.
That can happen in the water.
I'm not.
Yeah, in the water. In the water. Doesn't saltwater take off tattoos?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. I'm sure they didn't hold up back then as well as they do now. But so Henriette ignores the mountain of clues that point to Tom's deception.
So she believes all this?
Yeah.
She believes this is her
believes
son.
this is Roger.
Oh,
She's desperate
so she
to get her
wants
son
to.
back.
She needs to get. Oh, wow.
Since he also asks for money in his first letter to her, she sends him £400 and pays the bank £200 to allow him to withdraw the money by stating his name, Roger Charles Tichborne.
Wow.
What's going on with the butcher shop while this is happening?
I mean, the butcher shop's not doing too. We'll find out more about a little bit more about the butcher shop. I'm pretty sure he wasn't leaving too much behind at this point.
Wasn't
You
doing-
show up at the butcher shop. It's like Tommy Castro Butcher since 1843.
Yeah.
A decade before the ship went missing or whatever.
It was just a very crazy coincidence.
In 1866, Henriette pays Tom's way to England. Around this time, Tom draws up a new will as Roger. In it, he refers to his mother as Hannah instead of Henriette. He can't even keep her name
It's
straight.
way easier to spell Hannah.
Way easier. You should have just gone with H.
Yeah. It also includes property in the Isle of Wight and Dorset that the Tichbornes don't own, but doesn't mention the actual Tichborne properties at all.
That's great. And she's still all on board.
Yeah, she gives Tom, his wife, and daughter a place to stay and a yearly allowance of £1,000.
Well, £1,000 a year back then is probably
I mean, that's
That's
£20,000 was 2.5 million, so $1,000's probably
okay. So that's
a healthy
that's
amount.
Yeah, well, that's 12,000 a year. That's probably around $1 million, I guess. Then, right around there, $1 million
Maybe.
a year in an allowance. That's
well,
crazy.
no, not $1 million. If 20,000 is 2.5 million.
It's all right. The math. I can't do the math.
I can't do it either.
I'm not
not
doing
even
the math.
Cut it out. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it.
Not surprisingly, many others in the Tichborne orbit are extremely suspicious of Tom. The village blacksmith says to him, "If you're Roger, you've changed from a racehorse to a cart horse."
Crass blacksmith.
What a dick.
But Tom begins calling himself Sir Roger anyway. When he arrives in Paris, Henriette begs him to visit her, but he tells her he's recovering from seasickness and he can't make it.
He was on the high seas. He's on the high seas. He survived a wreck. His tummy hurts now when he gets on the boat.
Henriette visits him at his hotel instead. Tom is in a dimly lit room, lying in bed in his street clothes and facing away from her. When Henriette speaks to him, he doesn't respond. But she exclaims that his ears look just like his uncle's.
That's such a... she's holding on to anything. I feel so...
I know.
so bad for this lady that she's so open to this this grift.
The ears are a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Look at them. That's his uncle's ears.
I saw the
Tell me
back
it's
of
not.
his ears in a dimly lit room from 60 yards away.
And he wouldn't open his mouth when I talked to him.
Did you see his knuckles?
Did you see that?
Knuckles just like his uncle's. Identical.
So his junk has a rare congenital malformation.
Whoa, his penis?
Who's? Rogers? Or original Rogers or Tommy Castro?
Roger has a rare congenital malformation of his junk.
Original Roger has a deformed penis.
Yes, and-
what's the deformity?
I don't. It says like shriveled in some. It was back then, so it was very veiled. It wasn't like,
That sucks. Shriveled.
Yes.
He had a case of shriveled penis.
Maybe that's.
I think all baronets do.
I was just,
Yeah. I think that's at least what the barons.
He's got the
barons
wetness
will tell
meter.
you.
Yeah.
That's what the barons say.
Yeah.
so the family doctor.
Look at him, baronet. Pull out your shriveled penis. Would you bring it? Let's see it.
All those baronets got shriveled penis disease.
Sure do. With their what disposition?
They're gentle,
Oh.
or they're
Their congenital malformation.
no.
Oh, he's
What
put
was
on
his,
the flyer.
his disposition?
Oh, his delicate constitution.
Delicate constitution with a shriveled penis.
Man, this guy.
This guy's got.
He had no
He probably
chance.
jumped off the bella.
His mom's nuts.
Yeah, I think he jumped over.
He's like the OG incel. He's like,
Yeah, he jumped off. He's like, thank
Yeah.
God this guy's coming forward to claim me because I fucked. He's like, my mom's crazy. He got a shriveled penis.
He's like Tom Hanks
yeah.
in Castaway. He's
Yeah.
just alone on an island,
Yeah,
so happy.
but he's so happy.
Yeah.
He's so happy. He gets word. Oh man, good luck to that guy.
so the family doctor does confirm that Tom has the same condition as Roger.
What are the odds?
I mean, I don't know the odds. Again, it was yeah. So Henriette signs an affidavit confirming that Tom is Roger. She's like, ears check, dick check. It's Roger.
The back of his ears and his weird penis.
Knuckles, weird penis. Missing tattoos.
So numerous people repeatedly tell her that Tom is not Roger. And here comes more dumb. Dumb. When Tom is grilled by Roger's best friend, he refers to Henriette as Mama, though Roger only ever called her Mother. Among the many other things he doesn't remember, he can't recall the names of his dogs. When his friend asks him about an accident, when Tom was thrown from a horse, he doesn't remember it. Also, why is he not just going, oh, yeah, that time? He's just like, nope, can't remember that.
That's a lot of trauma. He had head trauma with the Bella.
I wonder how they're bringing this up to him. I wonder if they're like, hey, man, do you remember that time you fell off the horse? And he was like, no. Because you would be like, yeah, I did. That was crazy, right? You just be really vague.
I know.
Or I wonder if they're like, hey, did we do anything last summer that, I wonder if they're more vague about it.
I don't know. That I'm not sure about.
He's just saying no to everything. He's an idiot. No, I don't remember that.
So he also says one of Roger's...
Well, he never called Mother Mama or whatever was it? That's
Mama.
a little
Mama.
weak, that one.
Yeah, that one's weak.
Well, I mean, for aristocracy or whatever.
It's been a decade. He's been through a sunken ship.
Would you remember your dog's name?
Oh my God, Greg is a Tom Truther. I don't know if I can handle this.
Would you remember? You remember your dog's names, right?
I would hope.
Yeah, I would hope
Not
so
if I'm
too.
on a ship. Who knows if I got my head banged with some planks or something on this ship.
Okay.
So I watched a French version of The Count of Monte Cristo earlier this week. That was fantastic, and he gets in this giant shipwreck, and then he goes to jail, and he comes back and remembers everything. So
Good for him.
It was way longer than
him.
it was way longer than 10 years.
That's a movie.
So he also says that one of Roger's horses was named Plenipo, which it wasn't. That's Plenipo. Huh. That's like something that starts coming out of your name, like Plenipo.
Yeah, yeah, it's like...
Oh, you remember Plenty Poo. Now I'm out. I'm out now. That name's ridiculous.
Yeah, Plenty Poo.
So I did find out that Plenipo was slang in the 19th century for plenipotentiary.
What's plenipotentiary?
It means giving somebody full authority to do something. Like...
Look at the shriveled penis baronet with his plenty poo.
Why don't you just ride Plenty Poo home with your weird penis?
Tom doesn't remember an adventure through the pampas in South America that had meant so much to Roger. He sent his best friend the boots he wore on the journey. So Tom's like, nope, don't remember that.
No, they can't be... I wonder if they're just like reading this off. At some point, you just say yes, man. Be like, yeah.
He's just like gorging himself with like food. You remember that? No.
Hey, Mom, I'm gonna need.
Give me that lamb. You got that lamb over here? Give it over here.
I need $40. I gotta get out of here.
The dog is sniffing his food. Get out of here. What's this dog's name?
Plenipo.
Plenipo. Yeah, Plenty Poo. Behave, Plenty Poo. What's going on with this? Tommy Castro.
This guy's great. I mean, this guy's
He
great.
sounds like a former boxer.
Who's the dumb here? Like Tommy Castro's dumb.
Yeah,
she's not very bright either. Like
Tommy
it's
Castro's
just
getting
the whole.
paid.
Everybody is just completely moronic in this thing. Completely like he's naming the horse Plenipo. He doesn't have tattoos. She's signing affidavits. Everybody is dumb.
Yes. So his letters to Henriette also mention that he's had St. Vitus's dance, but Roger never did.
What's that?
It's a result of rheumatic fever where you just like start spontaneously crying or spontaneously laughing. You like do jerky motions. It's like some kind of neurological.
Is it like Tourette's? Tourette's-ish?
It's a long time.
A little bit like Tourette's. It doesn't last for the rest of your life.
So he just
So he would just
like shingles.
start hysterically laughing at a funeral. That's like
What the?
I know. And what a weird name.
And what does she say? She's just like, okay.
Yeah, she just says Roger never had it. His handwriting also doesn't match Roger's, which I think we could have guessed right at the beginning. Yeah. Members of the Tichborne family begin trying to identify Sir Roger. They eventually learn that Tom Castro's real name is Arthur Orton, a former sailor who stayed in Chile for a few years before heading to Australia in 1852.
His mother's name was Plenipo.
How do they figure this out?
Orton. They dig around in England. They're gossips. They've got connections in London.
So
they
people
figure
go
that
find
out.
that. So people go find this out.
Yeah.
Why didn't they do this earlier?
This is all sort of happening at the same time. It sounds like it's taking a really long time.
But it's all. I gotcha.
Yeah. So though the family doesn't know this yet, Arthur is originally from London. While a butcher in Australia, he pleaded guilty to selling unwholesome meat, which I don't even want to know what that means in the 19th century.
Oh God, they would eat anything back then. So what's unwholesome?
Yeah, like not fit for human consumption. So
Well, yeah, but is it like a certain animal? Was it like bad?
No, it was bad. It was
just
it was
bad?
reported as black, like black meat. People would not even eat it. He also made money through horse and cattle theft and was implicated in a murder, though he was never charged.
No, they sent all the criminals to Australia
Yeah.
back then, though.
Yeah. The family does learn that Arthur contacts his actual family once he travels to England. But Henriette never wavers in her belief that Tom is Roger. And here comes more dumb.
Dum dum dum.
When she dies in 1868, Arthur grows more desperate to be confirmed as Roger and launches a civil suit to gain ownership of the family property.
Nice.
Oh, this guy's a power player.
Well, he loses, and worse, because of his claims in civil court, Arthur is charged with perjury and is tried criminally in 1874.
Oh, come on, Art.
Don't call attention to yourself.
So did she leave him anything when?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Because yeah, they were probably just like, oh, this guy, like everybody around her was like, this is not the dude except for her, right?
Yeah, and I actually think this is just my speculation, and there's a little like anecdote coming up that might indicate this. I think maybe she wanted to keep the money in her family and was insisting that Roger was alive so that the inheritance didn't go to Alfred's son.
Gotcha.
Like
okay.
that's my suspicion.
That was the inference.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
So in court, more absolutely ludicrous stories emerge. One witness, a messenger for Henriette, says that he overheard Henriette saying to Arthur's lawyer when she visits Arthur in Paris, quote, "Do you think he'll get the property?" To which Arthur's lawyer responds, quote, "As sure as you're sitting in that chair." So she may have just been insisting for the money. When Arthur is asked about the first time he was reunited with Henriette, he doesn't remember enough to recount it. When he found out about his brother's death, a witness says he ran behind a tree and reappeared with red eyes, but no one saw tears. I'm like imagining him sticking his twigs in his eyes.
Just blow like chili pepper in his eyes.
Or rubbing
something.
poison ivy on his face. In Australia, Arthur wore a ring of the Tichborne crest he said he had custom made in Sydney. The former servant of the Tichbornes notices the ring and realizes that it's two family crests combined into one, the Tichbornes and the Doties, which is the family of the cousin whom Roger loved. To make the ring, he stole a sketch from that servant's journal, confident that the drawing was accurate, but it wasn't.
Oh.
The prosecutor...
That's embarrassing.
Oh, I mean...
Hey, Mom, you see our family crest ring? That's not it. That's not it.
The prosecutor argues that all of Arthur's knowledge of the Tichbornes comes from what's been published in newspapers and what he's gleaned from conversations he's had with those in Australia connected to them. Arthur's found guilty of perjury in 1874 and is sentenced to 14 years of hard labor. After 10 years, he's released and begins making public appearances at circuses and writing for newspapers.
What did he do at the circus?
He just came out and said, "I'm Roger Tichborne." I don't know. He became like this big sensation in England. This case was like a huge sensation.
Really?
Like a pop star?
There was like merch. There was like Roger Tichborne merch.
Like
Like
when
tea
people
towels and
wear
stuff?
Like
I'm
after
Roger
he-
I'm
after he was
Roger
arrested?
Tichborne like
Yeah.
T-shirts. I'm Roger Tichborne. Everybody walking around with that. Like, where's the beef?
Where's the baronet?
Yeah, it was just I'm Roger Tichborne.
So in one article, he confesses to his Tichborne scam, but then recants it in another article. And then, incredibly, Arthur Orton dies on April Fool's Day, 1898 in
That's
London.
awesome. That's awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome. That's all. He probably planned that.
His coffin plate reads Sir Roger.
Wow.
And that's it.
There was I don't think you could have. I don't even know how you would have summed this up in a title because everybody was just. There was just everybody was so dumb.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Moms.
Yeah.
She might have been mentally not well
Yes.
with her child missing, maybe.
Yes. But she made some poor decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very poor decisions. I can't imagine what that kind of emotion goes through losing a child, but she made some poor decisions.
I would really like to know if anyone has ever named their horse or dog or any pet Plenipo. I really want.
Lenny Poo.
I know the name of my next animal is. This is
Watch, there's like a Dumbline bump in there.
Goldfish Pennypo.
He was just a sailor who ended up down there.
Just a sailor that ended up down there.
Tommy Castro.
I mean, back then you could just do that.
I know.
You just do it. Right now, that would take 30 seconds to verify and be done with.
You get one online sleuth on that, and it's shut down in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't even think you need online.
You don't.
sleuth.
You just
It
need to go
doesn't
to-
look anything like them.
No, it'd be like, send me a picture. You'd be like, oh my God, this doesn't look like him. Okay.
Like there's memes right now where they're like inflating one politician's head.
Yeah.
It's like 4 times the size. I can still tell who it is.
Right.
Yeah.
You gain a little
Yeah.
weight, you still know who it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very true.
All right, Jason, tell people where to find us.
You guys know where to check us out at on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all that great stuff. Like, subscribe, share with your friends.
Yes, it's that time. Get to know Maria.
Get to know her.
Maria, what's the power rankings from 1 to 3? 1 being your favorite, 3 being your third favorite. Start at number 3, work your way up, please. Cookies.
Oh, that's tough. I really love Italian, like just Italian bakery cookies. Doesn't matter what. I think that's 3.
Italian butter cookies?
Like
those
like
Italian
just the
things?
bakery
Okay.
with sprinkles, chocolate, sesame seeds, whatever. Those are my third favorite. Second favorite, probably chocolate chip.
All right.
And then number 1 is like the peanut butter and chocolate Girl Scout cookies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very interesting. Any specific chocolate chip cookie?
I like homemade chocolate chip cookies the best.
Do
But
you
usually
like-
the Toll House recipe.
If you buy them, do you do soft and chewy or hard?
Oh, soft.
Soft
Yeah,
and chewy.
soft and chewy, for sure.
All right, thanks for spending your time with us. My name's Greg.
I'm Jason.
I'm Maria.
Take it easy.
See you, everybody.
Bye, dummies.